Well guys, October Prime Day is finally here, and I have to say, Amazon has really outdone themselves this year. There are some amazing skincare, beauty, and personal care deals, unlike any I've ever seen before. First of all, Lotrimin AF powder. This powder is a must if you have super sweaty feet because it's going to help absorb that excess sweat that would otherwise get broken down and lead to foot odor. Excessive sweating on the feet not only contributes to foot odor, but it creates a hospitable environment for fungus. One of the reasons I really like this powder is that not only does it help absorb excess sweat, but it has a little bit of an antifungal in it that's really going to help cut down on the favorableness, if you will, of the foot inside the shoe for foot fungus. It's also great because people who have really sweaty feet, that excess moisture in their sock creates a lot of unnecessary friction on their feet that contributes to callus formation. Speaking of callus, I am shocked, you guys. I have never seen Amazon do this, let alone any retailer for that matter. My holy grail Kerasal foot ointment is on sale, $7.99. This foot ointment works. You don't need very much of it. It has lactic acid and urea, which gets into the callus, softens it, hydrates it, helps smooth it out. You only need to use a very small amount of this and only use it a couple of times a week. If you use it every night for more than a week or so, you will start to get blisters. Trust me, I've been there because I love this. It works well. It keeps your feet looking really, really good, but you can't overdo it. So just use it a couple of times a week, but it really helps to get rid of dry, cracked heels, callus, and so much better than using just like a pumice stone or going to the nail salon and having them file away. Let me know in the comments if you are unhappy with the way your nails look. Are they yellow? Are they brittle? Are they dry, cracked, peely? They just don't look right. I have talked about this on this channel before, but some really great ingredients to address dry, brittle nails, nail discoloration are urea and lactic acid. These are really wonderful ingredients for the nails. I always encourage using like urea hand moisturizers or moisturizers with alpha hydroxy acids. It really can be beneficial to improve the appearance of the nails, especially if you've been wearing like acrylics or gel manicures for a while. They start to leave your nails looking very brittle, fine, papery. Kerasal has this product that is just as good as their foot ointment, but a little easier to use, in that it's basically a lacquer that has similar ingredients, lactic acid, urea. You paint it onto the nail twice a day, morning and evening, for a week, and then thereafter you just have to use it once a day, like at nighttime. When you put it on, not only do you want to put it on the nail plate, but also underneath. Not only is this good for just improving the appearance of the nails, but it helps cut down on the dry, rough stuff that builds up around the nails. It also cuts down on toenail fungus because it just softens and exfoliates that built up keratin that fungus really loves to snack on. During the June Prime Days, I shared with you guys what a game changer the TheraBody Mini has been for me. It is basically a handheld massager that is very intense, a couple of different settings, and it has a couple of different heads. It just really gets in there, breaks up the knots. You know, I talked about this in my video on tech neck, but a lot of people are constantly looking down at their phone, hours and hours. I mean, you see people walking down the street looking down at their phone. So it's causing a lot of neck problems for people, and you may notice that and just overall stiffness in your upper shoulders, your neck really helps loosen all that up. So this tool is really useful for getting to the upper back muscles. It recharges on a USB. I paid $194 for it. It's on sale for $169. This makes a great gift. Blood pressure is a vital sign, but a lot of people, their blood pressure starts to creep up slowly and they don't really realize it. And before you know it, you have full-on high blood pressure. The problem is when you go to the doctor, a lot of people are nervous, stressed out, or frankly, you know, pissed off because they've been waiting in the waiting room for so long. That temporarily raises your blood pressure. So when they take your blood pressure at the doctor's office, a lot of times it may not be accurate. Your doctor will be like, maybe you can go home, you know, run to the drugstore when you're not so stressed out, check it again, let us know, come back. I mean, it's a whole thing. So checking your blood pressure at home can be very valuable to have that information. Recently, I purchased this iHealth blood pressure cuff. You can take your blood pressure and heart rate at home. It syncs through an app. I know I'm always complaining about Bluetooth syncing apps, but this one is great. It syncs to an app so you can save a log of your blood pressure readings at home. That way you can send it to your doctor and they can see a snapshot of what your blood pressure has been, in your natural environment at home, relaxed over a period of time. This can be very helpful, not only just as an additional health metric outside of, the kind of unrealistic situation of getting it measured in office when you're stressed out. But if you are someone who has high blood pressure, it can be a very valuable tool for helping to guide blood pressure medication management as well. Like maybe in the office, it's looking like your blood pressure is, normal-ish or on the high side. But when you get home, it's actually getting lower. So maybe you need less of a particular blood pressure medication, or, your doctor would steer away from adding an additional blood pressure medication or increasing the dose. So that little piece of information, it's not little, it's something you collect at home, can really be helpful. Now, when you take your blood pressure at home, make sure you don't have a full bladder, make sure you haven't just had caffeine, make sure you're, relatively relaxed, you're sitting upright, your feet are on the floor. It's useful information to have on hand. It also will sync with the health app on your iPhone. So that's another thing if you're someone who likes to track that kind of data. The cuff accommodates either a standard adult arm or a large adult arm. So it fits me fine, and if you have a larger arm, it should be just fine. It gives you instructions on how to use it. It's very great. And it comes with batteries, so you don't have to get it and then go out and try and find batteries. So I paid $49.99, which at the time I didn't think was too bad, but it's going to be on sale for $27.99. So the Urban Decay Naked2 palette I have been wearing for several months now, many months. In fact, I raved about it in the June Prime Days. It's back for October Prime Days. This is a great eyeshadow palette. Now, I'm no makeup artist, but this is a really great eyeshadow palette. The colors pop very nicely. They're super blendable. I just love how compact it is. It's easy to travel with. I've been using it pretty much daily for many months now, and I barely made a dent in it. So it goes a long way. Normally $33, it's on sale for $21.43. The Mighty Patch is on sale again, like it was in June's Prime Days sale. So the Mighty Patch is a hydrocolloid patch that helps, you put it on a pimple and it serves as a barrier, protecting it as well as keeping you from picking at it. So it helps with healing, basically. Hydrocolloid helps to absorb excess fluid, inflammatory exudate coming from the pimple, and that will help flatten it out and help it to heal. I also love using these on mosquito bites. They take the itch away from a mosquito bite almost instantly once you put them on, and again, prevent you from scratching it. Now, CeraVe came out with several new products in 2023. I reviewed them several months ago, and one of them is their new Hydrating Sheer sunscreen. It's a hybrid sunscreen, so that means it has zinc in it as well as some organic filters. And because it's a hybrid sunscreen, it's not as casty as an all-mineral sunscreen often can be. There's still a bit of a white cast. It's not a zero cast sunscreen, but it's much less noticeable on the skin in comparison to an all mineral formula. This product is SPF 30, it's water resistant, it's moisturizing, it's hydrating, it's a little bit on the shiny side. But as an everyday facial moisturizer, it's a great option. It doesn't burn or sting around the eyes. It has niacinamide, which is anti-inflammatory, helps with the moisture barrier, helps with hyperpigmentation. It also has, of course, ceramides, which are helpful for the moisture barrier. It's ordinarily $25, which I think when I reviewed this, I thought was too much to pay for this sunscreen on the regular, but it's on sale for $13.49, which, a lot of hybrid sunscreens go for much more than that. So this is a great option. I would suggest checking it out in the sale if you are interested in it, because it's a great price. Speaking of CeraVe, this is a deal that I don't think I shared with you guys in the June deals because I didn't realize it was going on, but it's back, and it is the CeraVe skincare set for acne, for addressing the needs of acne-prone skin as well as post-acne marks, post-acne redness, post-acne hyperpigmentation. You get the acne foaming cleanser, which is a 4% benzoyl peroxide wash that can help to clear up and prevent breakouts. It can also be used on the body as well. Benzoyl peroxide can be a bit drying, so a wash form is one way to utilize the ingredient, derive the benefits with less irritation and dryness. May take a little bit longer to start working, but definitely beneficial in a wash form. This bundle also has their retinol serum, their skin resurfacing retinol serum, which has retinol, and CeraVe is a L'Oreal company. They have a lot of R&D behind their retinols, and I've always recommended this product. Retinol, for someone who has breakout prone skin, can help in improving skin complexion. It also can help with post-acne redness and post-acne hyperpigmentation. This particular retinol formulation also has licorice and niacinamide. Both of those are going to be beneficial for post-acne redness as well as post-acne hyperpigmentation. In addition to those two products, you also get CeraVe AM and PM. These are two facial moisturizers, both with niacinamide, again, good for the moisture barrier, good for redness, good for hyperpigmentation. Both, of course, with ceramides, like all of CeraVe's products have, which help with the skin barrier. The AM formula is a hybrid sunscreen. So again, a little bit of a cast, but not too noticeable. Unlike the other sunscreen we just talked about, it's not water resistant, so it's more of a daily moisturizer with sunscreen. And then the PM formula is just a nice lightweight gel moisturizer. I mean, it's super light. So if you're someone who has really oily skin and you kind of want to shy away from moisturizers, you feel like they're heavy, they're greasy, I encourage you to use a moisturizer regardless. And this is a great option because it's a lot more lightweight and doesn't feel greasy or heavy. You get all four of these products, which would list price be together $76.99, on sale for $55.89. The Biolage Hydra Source Conditioning Balm. I think this was a 2021, 22, I can't remember now, hair care favorite. This is a deep conditioning balm. You put in while the hair is wet after you've just cleansed it. You leave it in for 2 to 3 minutes and then rinse it out. I think of it as a conditioning hair mask because it's very thick, so it envelops each strand in total very nicely in comparison to a conditioner, which does the trick but is a lot more lightweight and sometimes just doesn't get everything as well. Using a conditioning mask a couple of times a week is great for reducing fragility and breakage of your ends. Just direct it to the ends of your hair though, not up by the roots. This is especially helpful, I find, on days where you might be using a clarifying shampoo to remove product buildup from the scalp and from the roots of the hair, as well as if you use an anti-dandruff shampoo, it can be a little bit more drying. Using a mask on those days is a great way to help address the needs of the strands, and this is one of my favorites. Now, it does have fragrance, so if you are allergic, this would not be for you. The fragrance I love, and it does leave your hair having a nice scent to it. All right, I am shocked to see this in the sale because it is one of my all-time favorite facial moisturizers, and of course I have a lot of favorite facial moisturizers, but this one is so good, and it's a little bit more on the expensive side for a drugstore facial moisturizer, so I'm elated that it's here. It's the Aveeno Calm and Restore Oat Gel Moisturizer. This I love so much. I hope they never, ever, ever discontinue it. It is a lightweight gel cream that's fast absorbing. It is good for any skin type, oily, sensitive, combination, dry. It has those needs all covered. It's not greasy, it's not heavy, but it's nourishing, it's rich. It really helps with reducing water loss. It has oat in it, which is anti-inflammatory, helps soothe an inflamed barrier, so it helps with symptoms of sensitivity, and it's very hydrating. This formula also has compounds from centella, which are healing and anti-inflammatory. This product, it just has an instant effect, as a facial moisturizer often will have, of brightening up the skin tone, bringing out your natural radiance. It's ordinarily it's $27, on sale for $17.98. It's Eczema Awareness Month. I'm so elated that Aveeno's Eczema Therapy Itch Balm is on sale for Prime Days because it's so good. Now, this is a rich balm. It's got colloidal oat in it, which is super soothing. If you were in the midst of an eczema flare-up, in my experience, this product, as well as other colloidal oatmeal-based moisturizers, are not as likely to sting. They're very soothing, but they also go to work to help provide barrier support, limiting penetration of irritants, and supporting barrier recovery. This also has ceramides, which are lipids naturally present in your skin, but with people who have a type of eczema called atopic dermatitis, ceramides are often lacking, so applying them to the skin helps the body to make more and to heal the barrier. This, when you're getting it out and everything, it's kind of super thick and you may feel like, oh, this is going to be greasy, but you'd be surprised. It sinks into the skin and does not leave any kind of greasy film whatsoever. The best time to put this on is like after you have just gotten out of the shower or out of a bath to really cut down on water loss that can come about as a result of bathing. This can be used on the face, although it is pretty thick, but it's great for stubborn eczema flares on the body. It's great if you are an adult with eczema, if you're a child with eczema, a baby with eczema. It's great, free of fragrance. Speaking of moisturizers that people with eczema or body discoloration, just overall dry skin might want to consider, La Roche-Posay's Lipikar AP moisturizer is really good. You can use this on the face and the body. It has niacinamide in it, which is good for redness and hyperpigmentation. It's more lightweight in comparison to that Aveeno itch relief balm, but it's very rich. And I always suggest this as a product to use for people who are dealing with a lot of discoloration in the skin folds, like under the arms, maybe under the breasts, because it will help cut down on irritants penetrating the skin that can worsen that hyperpigmentation. The niacinamide can help slow down the spread of pigment packets from the pigment-producing cells, melanocytes, to neighboring keratinocytes, so it helps to lighten some types of discoloration. But it's also helpful for the moisture barrier. It's not irritating. So this formula is really good. It's a really good face and body moisturizer. So for $20.99, you get the full-size bottle and you get a travel size. Those of you who have rough and bumpy skin, Amlactin, 12% lactic acid is in the sale. I love this product for keratosis pilaris. The lactic acid goes in, softens and exfoliates dry, rough skin texture. Lactic acid can also help to improve skin firmness. It's one of the few ingredients that may help in improving the appearance of acanthosis nigricans by hydrating and gently exfoliating the skin. Now, we all know about retinol, and I've talked about how retinol around the eyes can be irritating. I often suggest choosing a retinol eye cream because they're formulated for the delicate skin of the eyes to be effective at minimizing fine lines, but not as irritating as maybe some facial moisturizers might be. One of my favorite brands for retinol, I already mentioned L'Oreal, but Neutrogena. Rapid Wrinkle Repair Retinol Pro Plus Eye Cream is wonderful. It's fragrance-free. It's very rich and nourishing. The thing about these Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair formulas as a whole is that the base that they're in is so moisturizing, it's so hydrating. It really does provide an instant wrinkle smoothing effect, but the biologic change of improving collagen takes time, but you do get some instant gratification from these formulas in that they are so hydrating and rich and moisturizing that they do have a wrinkle smoothing effect almost immediately. But with consistent use, you really will start to see an improvement in the appearance of fine lines around the eyes, as well as other signs of skin aging like sunspots, yellow discoloration. This is a really great product. It is nice and thick and rich and nourishing. As a side note, retinol does not cause dry eye disease. Check out my video on using retinol around the eyes. I talk all about it there, but yeah, this is a great product and one I strongly recommend if you were looking for a retinol to use around the eyes. All right, for those of you who have acne, I've already mentioned this earlier in this video, but benzoyl peroxide is a great product to consider. Now, if you're not interested in that whole CeraVe acne kit, but you're looking to incorporate benzoyl peroxide, might I suggest Neutrogena's Stubborn Acne AM treatment. It's a 2.5% micronized benzoyl peroxide leave-on product. Now, benzoyl peroxide historically is very drying, very irritating. Micronized benzoyl peroxide, basically the benzoyl peroxide is in smaller particles, so it spreads more evenly on the skin and gets into the pore more efficiently, less likely to become irritating as opposed to non-micronized formulas where you can get some clumping together in hot spots. This particular product is free of fragrance. It's actually a pretty moisturizing base, so it helps reduce the dryness and irritation that can come about with benzoyl peroxide. I have videos on this channel showing how exactly to use this, so if you're interested in those, definitely check it out. It's best to use benzoyl peroxide if you have acne to the entire face, sparing around the eyes and around the mouth. Those are sensitive areas, but otherwise using it to the entire face helps cut down on future breakouts as well as clears up existing breakouts. But this product is also good as an acne spot treatment. If you have one pimple, this will help it go away a lot faster. A word of warning though, this will bleach fabrics. So get dressed before you put it on. And you know, at nighttime, you want to be careful that you don't, you know, get this on your pillowcase. Put an old towel over your pillow. That way it bleaches an old towel and not your pillowcase. Or, you know, it's labeled AM treatment, so put it on in the morning after you've gotten dressed to reduce the issues around it bleaching things. Speaking of benzoyl peroxide, the holy grail benzoyl peroxide wash for me is Panoxyl. It's just the one that's been around the longest, that I've been using and recommending for the longest. Panoxyl 10% wash is on sale. Now, this is a great body wash for people who have body acne. Chest, back, shoulders, works really well for clearing up and preventing acne breakouts on the body. Can also be used on the face, although it is a bit more drying in comparison to their 4% strength. But the other way I always encourage to use this is for cutting down on body odor. Lather it to the skin under the arms while you're in the shower. Let it sit on there for a few minutes and then rinse it off. This cuts down on the bacteria that would otherwise break down your sweat and lead to body odor. Also, use it as a foot wash, especially if you're someone who has sweaty feet that become malodorous. It'll cut down on the burden of bacteria on your feet that break down the sweat and lead to foot odor. All right, you guys, that's a roundup of the Prime Day deals that I think are worth paying attention to. But in the description box, I'm gonna have a link to a list of all of these so you can check them out if you are interested. Prime Day deals are only available if you are a Prime member. If you are not an Amazon Prime member, I highly suggest checking it out. You get a lot of perks, like you get access to their streaming service, which has a ton of great movies. You get access to music. You also have 2-day delivery, and you get access to shop these great deals during their Prime Day sales. Let me know in the comments if you are shopping this sale. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.